You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
President Biden said that there really isn't any daylight between his policies and Kamala Harris's policies. So I guess she owns Bidenomics and a whole bunch more. Well, joining us now is the great Congresswoman Erin Houchin from the wonderful state of Indiana. Congresswoman, great to have you here on Katz and Cosby. This is Rita. We also have Judge Richard Weinberg, also Governor David Patterson, and also Ed Cox. Congresswoman, do you think that Kamala Harris feels the same way? And what do you think she's going to do? Because look at the numbers right now. There was some good news yesterday from the economy, but it's not good news if you're going to the gas station and the grocery store.
Hey, thank you for having me, Rita. It's always a pleasure to talk with you guys. I am just watching with everyone else, the media, the legacy media, and just fawning over Kamala Harris as this new shiny object, trying to claim credit for some positivity in the CPI. But I got to tell you, when they say inflation is down, that's comparing it to a baseline when groceries are already 30% more expensive than when Donald Trump was president. That is not something that either, Joe Biden or Kamala Harris should celebrate. They should be ashamed. American families are feeling this burden. They're feeling this pain, and this is the pain that is a direct result of their policies. No one, I don't think, if they're actually, living and breathing, can say that they're better off today than they were 4 years ago. They certainly are not better off today than they were under President Trump. So I think it's pretty fascinating to watch. I hope that the American people don't buy the gaslighting, because that's what they've become professionals at.
Also even on fracking, too, Congresswoman, too. I mean, she is on tape saying, no to fracking, and yet she wants to win Pennsylvania. She didn't pick Josh Shapiro. She picked Tim Walz.
Yeah, she picked Josh Shapiro, and we heard Alan Dershowitz on the program just earlier. The reason she didn't pick Josh Shapiro is because he's Jewish, and that would cause problems for them with their convention and with some of their most radical supporters. She has flip-flopped on fracking. She has flip-flopped on Medicare for all. She was never the border czar. Now, all of a sudden, when Trump says he doesn't want to tax tips, that was somehow impossible. But when Harris says she doesn't want to tax tips, takes that straight from the Trump playbook, suddenly she's a genius. This rewriting of history is pretty laughable. I'm certainly happy that President Biden today said that she's in line with his policies, because everything he has touched has been a disaster. It is Biden-Harris blunders on every single agency. Everything they have touched has been just complete chaos and destruction for America.
Congresswoman, too, and we're talking to Congresswoman Erin Houchin from Indiana. Congresswoman, I remember when you were in New York, we were talking about the border. It is astounding to see some of these ads that have been put out. We use the phrase sort of Orwellian in many ways, where she's saying, I'm going to be tough on the border, and President Trump doesn't know how to walk the walk, like she's Annie Oakley. And then you look at what she has said repeatedly over and over again about, letting everybody out of detention centers, saying if you cross the border, it's not illegal. We'll give you everything. It is astounding. It could not be more crystal clear. Is anyone going to buy this hogwash, to put it in nice terms?
I certainly hope that they don't buy it, Rita, because she's running ads talking about how she's been securing the border. She has done nothing to stop this invasion, nothing. She has served as the border czar, and now she's saying she's not. She's never even met with the head of Border Patrol. Under the Biden administration and the Harris administration, they've issued executive orders that make the country less safe, that allow millions of people in the country illegally, and then they want those people to count in the census for electoral apportionment for the Electoral College and members of Congress. 99 suspected terrorists have been allowed into the country. That doesn't even count the 1.5 million gotaways. This is all happening under Kamala Harris's watch. If she wanted to stop it, she could speak out against it. She never did. In fact, she never even visited. And when asked about it, she laughed that she'd never visited Europe either. I mean, she's a complete disaster. I mean, and it is not just her personality that is grating. It is the policies, and that is something I hope people see very, very clearly in November. I hope that this is a high watermark for her in the polls, and that people will really dig in and see where she stands. Because when you find out the truth about Kamala Harris, you know that it will be terrible for America. We're just not going to look the same in 5 to 10 years if we allow her to have the presidency.
Well, you know, one of the things, Congresswoman, John Katz always says, see you in September, because, of course, next week is the DNC. So there may be a little bit more of the high mark. And then really the race is on. And we're now hearing, of course, the first debate is going to happen September 10th between Trump and Kamala Harris. If she shows up, we'll see. Who knows what's going on there?
Yep. Day 26 of her not talking to the media. They're running this good vibes only campaign. I think, if I had to make a T-shirt for their campaign, it would be, this is a joyous campaign, not an awkward one. It's good vibes only. And meanwhile, they're standing in front of a dumpster fire.
And Cox.
Congressman, I think that she is following actually the basic political policies of Obama and the Biden. That is, you run as a moderate and then you govern as an extreme liberal. And she's doing that exactly. The question is, does she have the political ability to do it? The ability of an Obama. She doesn't have COVID like Biden had to help him so he could hide from answering any questions. I don't think she has those skills. What do you think?
I don't think she has the skills, but the media, the legacy media, has been complicit in allowing her to hide and to not be interviewed. And, we're going on day 26 after she basically, took out Joe Biden and supplanted him. And she's not being forced or asked any questions at all, not being forced to sit down and even answer the simplest of questions. This is a thing that she's trying to, again, just Wizard of Oz, I think, her way to the White House. And there's nothing to see here. The media has been a little bit complicit in that. She doesn't have the talent if she's not in front of a teleprompter, which is why I think they're hiding her. She's certainly not an Obama, and she, again, doesn't have the excuses to hide. But the legacy media has been allowing her to do so. We'll see if she does ever hold a press conference or sit down for a true interview. And if she actually does participate in the debate, I think it's yet to be determined.
Yeah, let's see. And you're right. The media has really been giving her, I think, a huge pass and not putting the kind of pressure on her that we've seen if the shoe were on the other foot. That's for sure. Congresswoman, really great to have you here on the show. Thank you.
Hey, thanks again, Rita. You guys take care.
Thank you. Wonderful to have you here.